Hello viewers, this is Wagada Ronald taking you through this tutorial for O-Level Mathematics for Senior 2. And this video we're going to look at a topic called Simple Interest, and this is still under Business Mathematics and suitable for students in Senior 2, Senior 3 and Senior 4. So we shall look at some of the terms that will be used frequently in this video. So one is interest, is denoted by a symbol I, capital I, and this is the payment for the use of money deposited or borrowed. Next is principal, it is denoted by a symbol capital P, and this is the money deposited or borrowed. For example, if I deposit a certain amount of money into a bank, that amount I've deposited is what we call the principal. Then another term is amount, is denoted by a symbol capital A, and this is the sum of principal and interest. So when I add this to this, what I get is what we call the amount, and therefore we shall come up with a formula that A is equal to P plus I. So now we shall go to simple interest, which is the core of this video. So this is denoted by a symbol SI, and is the interest charged on only the original principal. It is calculated as a percentage of principal per annum. So the word annum is another word to mean a year. Therefore we shall come up with a formula that simple interest is equal to principal P times rate. So this is what we call the rate. It's usually denoted in percentage, that's why it is over 100, then times time taken. And also since we know that P is equal to A is equal to P plus I, in under simple interest we shall say that A is equal to P plus SI. So these are the terms. So SI means simple interest, P means principal, R is the simple interest rate per annum, T is the time in years, and A is the amount after time T. So basically that's what you need to know in this video. Now let's go to the examples. So example 1 came from UNEB 2014 paper 2 question 16a, and it says Nancha deposited shillings 750 in a savings and credit organization. The organization gives a simple interest rate of 12% per annum. Calculate from Roman 1 the interest she got at the end of 2 years, then Roman 2 the total amount she had in the organization at the end of the 2 years. So in this case, this 750 is what we call our principal, and that is P. Then 12 is what we call our rate, and that is R. Then the 2 is what we call our time, and that is capital T. So we shall recall the formula for simple interest and use it. So we know that simple interest is equal to P R over 100 times T. So always remember that formula. In this case our P is 750, R is 12, and T is 2. So we shall substitute that into the formula for simple interest and use the calculator to simplify to come up with shillings 180,000. So this is our simple interest, which is the answer for Roman 1. Then for Roman 2, they wanted the total amount she had in the organization at the end of the 2 years. Remember, amount is given by P plus SI, so shall add our P plus SI to come up with shillings 930,000. So basically that's what they wanted, and now let's see how much can be awarded. So M1 is for substitution into the formula for simple interest, and A1 is for the output. Then here M1 is for substitution and A1 is for the output. So basically that's how the formulas could come about. Now we shall go to example 2. Example 2 came from UNEB 2005 paper 1 question 6, and it says calculate the simple interest on shillings 96,000 for 10 months at a rate of 8 1/3% per annum. So here what you should realize that this time is in months, so we have to convert it to years before we use it. The rate is okay because it is per annum which we want. So always remember, time has to be in years if the rate is per annum. If the rate was also per month, it would be okay, but now the time is in months and the rate is in years, so we have to convert everything into years. So you are coming and say that our R is 8 and a third. We reduce it to an improper fraction to come up with 25 over 3, for example. 8 times 3 times 8 is 24, then plus 1, that is 25, which is here, then over the denominator, which is 3. After getting R, we can now write our formula and substitute. We know that principal is 96,000, which is there. Then the rate is this, which we have reduced to an improper fraction, but we have to divide by 100, so this 100 is this. Then this time is the 10 months, but the 10 months has to be changed to years, so we have to divide by 12 because a year has 12 months. Then from there we can now simplify and then come up with our simple interest as shillings of 6,666.67. So basically that's what they wanted, and now let's see how marks can be awarded. So B1 will be for the formula, and M1 is for you to write the rate correctly, and another M1 for the month and principal correctly. Then A1 is for the final output. So basically that's how the 4 marks could be awarded. Now we shall go to example 3. Example 3 came from UNEB 1990, paper 1, question 10, and it says, Mr. Mugabe puts shillings 2,400 in his savings account at the bank. The bank's simple interest rate is 5% per annum. Find the number of years he should have the money in the bank in order to be able to recover a total sum of 2,700 shillings. So now in this case, this 2,400 is our principal, this 5 is our rate because it's already per annum, which is okay. Then this 2,700 is our amount because it is the sum, not this word sum, that he has to recover at the end of the certain time. But what we don't know is our time. So what we are going to do, we are going to still quote the formula for simple interest, substitute what is given, and then look for the unknown. So this is the amount equal to principal plus simple interest, but we know that simple interest is equal to PR over 100T. So amount is 2,700, which is here. Principal is 2,400, which is here. Then simple interest is given by this formula. So what we have to do, we have to substitute our principal here, which is that, and our R, which is this. Then we can remain with only T, which is an unknown. So when we do that, we shall come up with this expression. I think we realize that T is the only unknown, so we have to simplify and make T the subject. So when I simplify, I come up with 300, for example. If this 2,400 goes this side, it will become 2,700 minus 2,400 to come up with 300. Then 2,400 times 5 over 100, I'll come up with 120, but there is also this T which will be here. So in the end I have that. When I divide both sides by 120, I'll come up with that, and therefore T will be equal to 2.5 years. So basically that's what they wanted, and now let's see how much can be awarded. So this M1 is for substitution of the left hand side, this one is for substitution on the left hand side, and this one is for the division, and this is for the output. So basically that's how the 4 marks could come about. Now we shall go to example 4. Example 4 says that Asia invested a certain amount of money in a bank which paid 12% per annum. So this PA is a symbol to mean per annum, so always remember that, simple interest. After 5 years, his total savings were shillings 560. Determine the amount of money he invested initially. So in this case, this 560 is what we call the amount because they said total. Then the 5 years is what we call our time. Then the 12 is what we call our rate R. So what we don't have is the amount invested. Remember, amount invested initially is what we call the principal. So basically we are looking for principal. So we shall come and write the formula, substitute and then calculate the unknown. So first of all, we know that amount is equal to principal. Amount is equal to principal plus simple interest, but we know that amount is 560,000, which is there. Then principal is what we don't know, but R we know it, so we are going to substitute. So this is an expression for simple interest. So when you substitute for R and T, R was 12, which is here because it was a percentage. That's why they use this 100. So this 100 caters for that percentage. Then T was 5 years, which is here, so we shall come and put our 5 years there. So I think we realize that we have only one unknown, which is P. So what we are going to do, we have to simplify. So when I simplify, 12 over 100 times 5 is 0.6. So in the end I come up with 0.6P in this bracket. Then this side is still 560,000. Now 0.6P plus P will give you 1.6P, which is that. So when I divide by 1.6 on both sides, I'll come up with P being equal to shillings 350,000. So basically that is the amount he invested initially. So always remember that the amount deposited is what we call the principal. So each time they ask for amount deposited, just know they're asking for principal. So basically that's what they wanted, and now let's see how much can be awarded. So this M1 is for this substitution on the left hand side, another M1 for substitution on the right hand side, M1 for division here, and A1 is for the output. So basically that's how the formats could come about. And that brings us to the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching, and be reminded that the next video will be on compound interest. What you have looked at today has been simple interest, but there is also what we call compound interest, and that's what we are going to look at in the next video. So if you have not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button below this video so that you can receive updates when the next video on compound interest has been uploaded. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and also if you know of any student who's not yet on this platform, please share the link of this video with them via social media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp, so that you can also join and benefit as a family.